Shalom. Foremost, I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash, and call Halayah Yimel Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Give all praise again to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. I want to go to, I'm going to start out in Leviticus 21. 5, 19, and 28, talking about a little bit of cuttings in the skin. We'll start with that. This is Leviticus 19. I'll start 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. So no cuttings in the flesh to honor the dead, or tattoos, etc. Read that again. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord, man. So that's part of the laws. No cutting in your skin. You know what I mean? Because your temple is sacred, man. When you mark up your body, that's like graffiti, and that's like putting graffiti on a building, man. You know, you're desecrating your temple, man. Because that's how the church, which is your church, that's the temple, that's you. You know what I mean? So you're desecrating your temple, your building, which is the edifice, the house, which is you, by putting all these marks and these things on you, man. 21 of 5. They shall not make baldness upon their heads, neither shall they shave of the corners of their beards, nor make any cuttings in the flesh, with the needle or anything. Even getting a shot in the needle, getting a shot with a needle, that's against the laws, man. But we in Babylon, we in captivity, so we have to work around what we can work around. You know what I mean, to the best of our abilities. Judges 5 and 11 relating to the rehearsing the righteous acts, man. Beginning, how you rehearse it, you practice, but most of all, you come back to remembering certain things to rehearse it and practice it. You get Judges 5 and 11. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing waters. Drawing waters relate to your captivity. There shall they rehearse their righteous acts of together, and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel. So, land of drawing waters, that's your captivity. So, and Baruch, which I will get right now, talks about during their captivity, they begin to remember themselves, man. How they remember themselves is beginning to rehearse the righteous acts. You know what I mean? That's part of that. Baruch. Baruch 2, and start at 29, I'll read through. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations. So you're going to be scattered, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, man. I'll stop right there. They're a stiff-necked, gainsaying, rebellious people. That's the nation of Israel, man. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And the small remnant is beginning to remember themselves. Start rehearsing the righteous acts to the best of their abilities, relating to the commandments, man. Coming back to follow and do what they can do to the best of their abilities, individually and collectively. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear, man. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. And that's what that remnant is doing. They're praising the Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakakadosh. They're praising the name Yahweh Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh the Father, Yahweh Shai the only begotten Son, man. So they're praising his name, man. They're praising and calling on his name and thinking of his name. That's part of the rehearsing the righteous acts. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord Yahweh. And I will bring them again into the land which I have promised with an oath. That oath is that bond that the Lord made, man. That small remnant will return, man. That's that oath. Otherwise, Israel wouldn't exist, man. Because realistically, they're not worthy, man. Period, man. But the Lord promised, man. He kept that's that oath, man. Into their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. So they're going to increase. They're going to increase and grow greater than what they are now, man. Israel's like the sand of the sea, man. And I will make an everlasting covenant. That's the second covenant, man. Through Yahweh Shai, being regrafted through Yahweh Shai, because you can't go to the Father without first going through Yahweh Shai, man. He was that sacrificial lamb, man. So the Israelites can be redeemed and regrafted through Yahweh Shai, then to the Father, man. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people out of Israel, out of the land that I have gave them. So they're going to be regrafted, redeemed, reestablished in mind and body and spirit. The laws are going to be put in them, and they're going to reign with Yahweh Yahweh Shai, man, the Father and only begotten Son, man. The laws and the statutes are going to be pretty much embedded in them, so they won't go off again. Reason why I started off with those two verses, because cuttings, it was one of the brothers did a video where a baby was being tattooed, man. A child, man. That's abomination, man. It is just very bad parenting, man. You know what I mean? Why would you tattoo your child, man? That's an infant, man. So Israel, man, they wicked as hell, man. 2/3 are wicked, man. Period, man. Let's go to Jeremiah 44, 4 and 22. Well, I'll go to Hosea 4 and 6 first, since I'm in Hosea first. For my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They have no understanding. They lack certain things, because ultimately they forgot certain things, man. That's part of the punishment, man. They've been blinded. They've been dry bones, man. They're like them skeletons, man. They've been dead. Spiritually dead, overall dead. I'll read that again. For my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I also forget thy children, man. And as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory to shame. So the continuous of sinning, man. They were once of glory, man, because they were kings and princes. They were once kings and princes. Folly sat in great dignity. The rich sit in a low place. They were once kings and princes. That was their glory. But now, because of the continuous sin, now they're going to be turned to shame, man. The continuous transgressions relating to not hearkening, heeding to certain things that they're supposed to do. That glory they once were, now they're going to become shame, man. They're going to be astonishment, a byword among other nations, whether I lead thee. Deuteronomy 28:37, man. So you're going to become a mockery, man. That's part of that shame. That's why you're not respected, both the men and women. That's part of it, spiritual. This is number 22, 4 and 22 of Jeremiah. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish, children. Sottish means foolish. It means foolish or stupid, man, in a matter of speaking. And they have no understanding. They are wise to do evil. They are wise to do evil. When it comes to wickedness, they surpass the adversary of the heathens, man. When it comes to wickedness, they know how to do that. They excel better than anybody. Read that again, 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge, man. So Israel foolish, man. They foolish, man. Do evil, they have wisdom and knowledge, but to do good and have prudence and common sense, man, they a bunch of idiots. Ecclesiastes 10, 6 and 7, man. Ecclesiastes 10 and 6, man. I'll recite it again. I already said it, but I'll say it again. This is 10 and 6, 7. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. That rich is the Israelites, man. And they sit in a low place because of the state and condition they put themselves in, because they transgress against the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yashah. 7. I have seen servants upon horses, man, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. So those princes are becoming servants upon the earth. That's the Israelites, man. And the ones who are on horses are the other nations to pretty much rule over them, man. And that's part of the punishment, man. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a low place. I have seen servants upon horses. And those servants upon the horses are the other heathen nations, man. That's supposed to be really the servants, man, relating to the Israelites ruling over them. It's been flipped around because the Israelites transgressed against the Lord. So he allowed these base nations, relating to Isaiah 40, 15, and 17, as the Lord looks at as a spit in the bucket, they're less than nothing, man. And that's how the Lord views these other nations. That's Isaiah 40, 15 through 17. I have seen servants upon horses, and the princes walking as servants upon the earth, man. Let's go to Isaiah 30. Let's go to Isaiah 30. This is Isaiah 30 and 1. I'm going to read 1 through 3. I'm going to read 1 and 2. Woe unto the rebellious children, which is Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, and they that may add sin to sin, man. So they trust in Egypt, man. They trust in Egypt, man. Two, they walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. So they trusted Pharaoh, man. Pharaoh would be the one who's in power symbolically here. It would be Egypt. This is modern day Babylon. So Egypt be. Which would be Babylon, which would be America, man. So they trust in the powers relating to Egypt instead of trusting in the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yashah, man. So they in First of Maccabees 1 and 11, you know what I mean, which I'll get right now. Let me get that. They made that covenant, that bond with the heathen, man. This is First of Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out Israel wicked men. This relates to the renegade Israelites, man, who persuaded many, convinced them, you know what I mean, to follow after them. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. So they trusted, made that covenant with the heathen, just like in 30, so they making that covenant, that alliance with the heathen, man. That are round about us, for since we departed from them, we had much sorrow. That's the consequence. They thought, like I said, they thought it was better, the grass was greener on the other side. They thought they was going to get the better treatment on the other side. And plus, they trust in Egypt, man, because they trust in oppression. We'll get that too as well. Not realizing that that's going to be to their shame. Let me go to 31. Let me see if I can find that verse I want. Lock you. I'm just trying to find a verse. Let's see if I find it. Here we go. Shalakia, here we go, 30 and 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise the word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. So that's what happened with the Israelites. They trust in oppression, man. They trust with their adversaries relating to the other heathen nations. They trust in them, man. Let's go to Romans, 10 and 1 and 3. This is Romans 10, 1 and 3. Brother, my heart's desire in the prayer to Yahweh for Israel is this, that they might be saved. For I bear them the record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge. So they have the zeal and enthusiasm and that pep, but not according to knowledge relating to Yahweh Shem Yoshua, man. For they, being ignorant of Yahweh's righteousness and going to establish their own righteousness. So they're going to establish their own righteousness. And have not submitted themselves into the righteousness of Yahweh. And that's the majority of our people, man. Because they take on these other philosophies, these other religions, these other customs, worshiping these other gods, you know what I mean? Taking on these other forms, what they think is right, man. But ignoring relating to what's the truth, man. And it said 28 and 64 that our people will be scattered all four corners of the earth, worshiping, serving other gods, even wood and stone. So that's part of the curses, man. So that's part of what our people are doing. They in all kinds of diverse practices relating to religion, worship, idolatry, for example. You know, just like they were in the previous kingdoms. They had a sculpture of George Floyd, I believe in Jersey City, and they also have one, I seen one recently in Brooklyn. So they worship idol, that's idolatry. That goes back to sorcery and witchcraft, man. So they worship things of that has no power, man. That has no substance, that has no power, man. But when you tell them relating to the scriptures, they ain't trying to hear that, man, because they're rebellious. They are rebellious, stiff-necked, gainsaying, which is basically very contrary. You know what I mean? And that's the spirit of the majority of our people, man. Let's go to Psalm 78 and 50. 78 and 50. Psalm 78 and 50. Psalm 78 and 50. Psalm 78 and 50. Yeah. He made a way to his anger and spared not their soul from death, and he gave their life over to pestilence. So that's part of, gave to relating to these plagues and pestilence, man. Let me see, 61. And delivered his strength into captivity and his glory into the enemy's hand. I'm going to go to, let me go to 2nd Ezra real quick. 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra. Second Ezra. Second Ezra 2. I'll read 2 and 1. And thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage relating to Egypt, and I gave them my commandments by my servants Moses, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsel. The mother that bare them saith unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For ye have sinned before the Lord your God, Yahweh, and done the things which is evil before him. So that's Israel, man. So it grieved the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yashah. But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, my children, ask mercy of Yahweh. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring them into confusion, and their mother to spoil, that there may be no offsprings of them. So they're going to be punished, man. Deuteronomy 28 relating to they're going to be scattered. You know what I mean? A lot of things in Deuteronomy 8 relate to those, the curses are going to come pursue thee until they follow thee, until they destroy thee, man. And let them be scattered abroad among the heathen, and let their names be put out of the earth. So they're going to be a memory. They're going to be a memory, man. And woe unto thee, Ashur, that thou hidest the unrighteous in thee, O thou wicked people. Remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah. And woe in the land that lieth clods of pitch and heaps of ashes, even so also will I do unto them that hear me not, saith the Almighty Lord, man. So that's the punishment, man. Continuous related to Israelites not doing what they're supposed to do, man. And that's why they're in the state and condition they are today, man. You know what I mean? Because they have not hearkened and heed unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Yashah. I'm going to read one more. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28, and this will be the last one. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, until thou be destroyed. That's part of the punishment. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. That's the whole reason, man. So the consequence of the Lord is going to send these plagues of curses upon the nation of Israel. So starting with the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans. We think why they're in the state and condition and go through the things they go through more than every other nation, man. It's not a coincidence. It's spiritual. And the start is spiritual from the beginning. And it's part of the punishment. This is a place of supposedly reflection and looking back at certain things. Reflection, self-examination, self-analyzing, everything. Relating to why you're in this state and condition, man. Relating to the nation of Israel, man. This is just a few verses talking about that. Because Israel trusts in oppression, man. They always have. That being said, give all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yoshua Bashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.